The supernatural serves as a metaphysical portrayal of insanity, a potent tool to convey the unsettling nightmare experienced by a conscious mind trapped in a haunted world, slowly descending into madness due to its horrifying nature. This concept goes beyond the inhumanity humans inflict on each other. It represents a necessary state of derangement, reflecting the elevated level of strangeness and desolation inherent in the system we all exist within. Symbolically, it manifests as the unexplained malevolence we perceive in the face of dolls, mannequins, and puppets. Crafted by human hands and minds, these effigies seem to communicate our understanding of a terrible secret too dreadful to disclose. However, as the face becomes more realistic, approaching human-like features, we feel uneasy and threatened. This unsettling sensation is referred to as the uncanny valley, where something closely resembling a human but falling short of authenticity creeps us out more than an object that doesn't attempt to mimic humanity. Horror books and movies delve into the interplay between life and death, exploring how humans struggle to accept their mortality. In today's ego-driven society, where the concept of God or meaning is fading, the notion of mortality becomes terrifying. Yet the true horror lies not only in the fear of death, but in discovering what has been pretending to be dead while we pretend to be alive. The puppet is a quintessential archetype of concept horror, an uncanny manifestation of hyperreality that seems to blatantly contradict what we think we know about the world. The doll, puppet, and mannequin have been used time and again as stand-ins for the confrontation between consciousness and non-human reality. It's an overused theme simply because it works. Movies such as Child's Play, Magic, Devil Doll, Poltergeist, Annabelle, Puppet Master, Mannequin, Dead Silence, Dolls, and M3 GAN play in the Valley of the Uncanny, and our obsession with physical self-replication. They remind us of the difference between a regular night and a nightmare. On a normal night, you hug your teddy bear and go to sleep. The nightmare occurs when your teddy bear hugs you back. We sleepwalk through a drone existence of working unimaginative 9-to-5 jobs while consuming anything we are told is good for us, but in reality kills us quicker, losing more and more of our humanity every day. We act like dolls, mannequins, with delusions of humanity, of specialness, of separation from the world of objects and elevated to subjects. Many people are puppets trapped in time loops who tell the same story because they have no other memories to speak of and can hardly recall making stilted motions in the past. They struggle through the same gestures, repeating the same lines, repeating the same lives. But in rare moments, they may feel a dim suspicion that this has all happened before. The puppet has his puppet master, whereas society has its clandestine leaders, pulling the strings to re-engineer civilization and steer it in a certain direction. On a micro level, we are enslaved to our genetics, addictions, morals, and fears, as well as the natural laws that govern all of us. In a way, the puppet appears to have more freedom than we do in its controlled, blissful ignorance. Marionettes and puppets, controlled by puppeteers above, are often extremely graceful in their movements. Such grace is hard to match by any mere human. Nothing can affect the puppet. Affectation only occurs whenever one is placed in a stressful situation that throws the equilibrium off balance. This can occur when one's movement loses its center of gravity. When the puppeteer handles the limbs of a puppet, they are resistant to the law of gravity. All other limbs not in use are not, and thus lay there dead. Neither dolls, puppets, marionettes, or any animal that we know of possesses the will to self-reflect. As far as we know, humans are the only creatures both blessed and cursed with self-reflection, enslaving us to the past. If humans were ever to achieve such a state of freedom, it would only be after a transmutation in which humans became infinitely more conscious. Therefore, to possess pure freedom and perfect grace, the human must have infinite consciousness or none at all. In other words, he must become either a god or a puppet. According to a scientific materialist viewpoint, humans are no more than puppets on genetic strings, which by an accident of evolution have become self-aware. What these materialist thinkers fail to see is how their view correlates with mystical religions, particularly that of Gnosticism. Today, Gnosticism has become the faith of those who believe themselves to be machines. Oh, but it gets better. Our schools, universities, and institutions were never meant to create free-thinking individuals, but subservient worker clones who conform to the official narrative, no matter how contrived, and who unquestioningly obey authority figures. In other words, students study to be nothing more than cogs in the machine, expendable pawns to drive propaganda, and factory tools to build the physical manifestation of the ultimate technocratic goal, transhumanism. The planned future consists of the death of many, particularly those deemed unfit for society, something that was practiced in the early 20th century but continues underground today under various names other than its previous title of eugenics, as well as anyone that will not comply with their new stipulations. For those left, through quantum tech, biological RFID nanotech and hydrogel nanoparticles, all found within you if you've had all your shots for a supposed virus, you will be linked with a global computer, IoT, Internet of Things, to be tracked and monitored. You will awaken as a biomechanical puppet owned by big tech corporations who have full control over you and your strings, bank account, personal info, and any and everything you do. All of this is being implemented in the name of saving the environment and energy sustainability. Such is the planned future for humanity, formulated by Gnostic thinkers and manifested today by the rational materialists and ego-driven futurists of Silicon Valley. They dream of creating a higher species that transcends evil and the human condition, and yet they don't realize that any such species will still be created by existing humans. Such would be eating the fruit of the tree of knowledge again to fall back to a state of innocence, the final chapter in the history of the world.